I hate both those teams. Two teams I do really like, though, in this Eastern Conference that I know they're supposed to be Sixers competition, but it's hard not to root for these teams. Cleveland and the Knicks are just so much fun, both of them, especially this Knicks team, especially since they got Josh Hart. They've been so much fun. I would pencil the Knicks in as like the biggest party crasher in the Eastern Conference right now. You're saying Miami. I would say the Knicks for similar reasons. I just feel like they don't have like the decade-long culture of the Heat, but they just have this. They're not taking shit from anyone this year, especially right now over this past month. They have Brunson just leading the charge. We know Tibbs, he's not going to be scared, even if he isn't the best coach in the league. He's also just, he's just stern with his players. And when he connects with his players, we've seen it time and time again. When Tibbs is on the same page as his teams, they go far. Now, when he's not on the same page, he gets run out of town, as we've seen in Minnesota and Chicago. But I just think this team is playing great. We just saw Julius Randle have 57 points, drain 8 3-pointers. Brunson and Randle have been an awesome combination. And my guy, Josh Hart, culture rankings mainstay Josh Hart, the best rebounder since Dennis Rodman, Josh Hart, he has been awesome for this team, and he's been such a great addition. What are your thoughts on the Knicks? I would pick them against Cleveland right now, even though I really like that Cleveland team as well. I think they have the best backcourt in the NBA. What are your thoughts on New York's play over these past few weeks and months?
I think I joined every single team's bandwagon except for the Cavs and the Knicks. I'm going to be honest here. As a native New Yorker, I feel like I'm doing them a disservice, but can you genuinely say come playoff time, you're going to look at the Knicks and view them as a threat?
Yes. I don't want to see them against the Sixers. Once again, I think the Sixers team can beat everybody right now the way they're playing, but I do not want to see that Knicks team. I do not.
Do you really, though? Julius Randle, I know come playoff time.
Julius Randle, when we did our All-Star picks, the Hawks series, that's fair. That's fair.
He went from like 5th in MVP voting that year, and then he played like Julius Randle from the Los Angeles Lakers.
He played a lot worse than that. He just played garbage in that series.
He just completely disappeared. I love Brunson. Brunson proved last year he could play in the playoffs. But when he's the main guy, I told you this too, the foul calls. He relies on the fouls. The videos of he jumps into people and then he gets a foul call. And I know that in the playoffs, you're not going to like this, but I complain about the same things about Harden, where sometimes in the playoffs, Harden does the same thing. He jumps into someone, smacks them, and then he ends up on the free throw line for a 3-point play, and it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Brunson has a little bit of that in him. I don't love that. And Randle, we saw him once in the playoffs, and it was terrible.
Here's my thing. Once. We saw it for one time. I mean, after what Paul George has done to redeem his playoff reputation, I think anyone can do it. So Julius Randle is no longer the number one option. Jalen Brunson runs this team. He is the commander of the offense. And I think the way that and also Josh Hart, who is a really good, he gets the hockey assist. He's not getting the assist like Jalen Brunson, but he is the pass to the pass so many times off of those rebounds. So for me, like the way the Villanova guys are creating for the rest of this team, I think Julius Randle as like the number 2 guy, but also the guy who can erupt for 57 points from time. Not that he does that routinely, but he's been scoring at a very high level over the past month. I didn't have him on my All-Star team ever since mid-February. Over the past month, he's been maybe like a top, 20 player in the league. I think he's been awesome. And I just think that they have the combination of the grit, but also the offense that I think they can. Would I pick them against the Bucks, the Celtics, or the Sixers in a series? No. But I think they are the biggest threat, the biggest potential party crasher we have right now. Not to mention, they still got RJ Barrett, who's been pretty up and down. He's only shooting 25% from 3 in the month of March. He's found himself out of their crunch time 5 in favor of Quickly. But he's still on the team. He's still a near 20 point scorer. Plus they got Grimes and Quickly playing hard-nosed defense in the backcourt. I just feel like they've found the chemistry for this team. And I don't know. I just think they're really good. I just like the team, and I think they're going to have a moment in the playoffs in some fashion.
It's really Randle for me. That's my concern. I know that come at the end of games, he's going to be the guy that's like, I'm the guy in the team, and he's going to shoot some contested turnaround jumper that's not going to go in.
Brunson has been their fourth quarter guy routinely this year, except not literally every game, but he's been the guy most games.
When Randall decides that he wants to do it, that's when I look at that Knicks team and I can't take him seriously.
Well, if he wants to do it and drain 8 3-pointers and score 57, I mean, I'm fine with him doing it.
I don't think he's going to do that 4 times in the series. I just don't love Randall. And here's the difference between them and the Heat, whereas the Knicks are way more talented and have, they actually have talent around their guys. At the end of the game, I'm taking Jimmy over anyone on the Knicks anyways, just in terms of that sense. At the end of games, I'd love it if it's Brunson. I just don't want it to be Randall. And I feel like at times Randall can go back to that little, it's kind of him heroing it, and I don't think he's that guy to do it. That's just my concern with the team. I think also Cleveland, as much as I don't love Cleveland as an actual contender, on paper, I just love Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. And Karis LeVert, honestly,
I think the Knicks match up really well with the Cavs. I think they're going to beat them in the first round.
How, in what way do they? I feel like Randall's going to have a tough time against Mobley. No,
I just feel like in the sense of like, I don't think they're going to completely stifle like Garland and Mitchell, but I think they have all the defensive guards they need to throw at those guys. I mean, they got 5 of them, like in my opinion. And maybe
Quickly's not going to do anything. So what, guys? You're going to have Josh Hart.
Yep. I mean, they can. Grimes has been really good this year. What do you mean? Quickly's a good defender. What do you mean?
He's just small.
I know he's small. Garland's small too. He'll guard Garland.
I guess Garland, but Garland's not even like. Garland's his best part about Garland's is passing. I
think that's like a 6 or 7 game series, but my thing with the Cavs is like, one, their wings are just atrocious. So
dude, I'm sorry, Karis LeVert is not that bad, and Okoro has been hitting his threes for a little stretch, and he's actually looking good.
Like he's averaging 6 a game. Like I'm saying I understand he's not terrible. I think the Knicks like. They got Randall and Barrett and Hart like on the wing. I think they just outclassed the Cavs there. And because, when push comes to shove, Karis LeVert, I'm not a Karis LeVert guy. I don't think Karis LeVert or Isaac Okoro are scoring against the Knicks. And that makes Donovan Mitchell and Garland have to take like almost all the offensive pressure. And I think they'll get their points. There will be games where those guys are awesome. It's not going to be a Knicks sweep, but I think in a 7-game series, the Knicks can outlast them. I think they can overwhelm them. And at the down low, Mobley and Allen are awesome. They're in an incredible defensive front court. But I feel like I think Randall right now is better than like Mobley in terms of like Randall is playing so well that even though I have Evan Mobley as like an all defensive caliber guy, I think in Mobley's first playoff series, I think he won't be able to just completely stop Randall. Randall can, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. And I also think like Mitchell Robinson can match up with Jared Allen. Like they can go to those looks as well. I think like the Knicks team. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Mitchell had some stupid quote the other day. Did you see it? Mitchell Robinson, what
did he say?
He was like, I'm tired of doing cardio for this team.
No, but that's what he needs to do. Like that's his role.
Everyone knows, but he doesn't want to do cardio. He wants he wants the ball at the top of the key with the plays made for him. Okay, it's Mr. Robinson we're talking about.
Well, maybe that's why Hartenstein's been playing a bit more as well.
Well, yeah, Mr. Robinson wants the keys to the team. I don't understand why that just made me laugh. I don't know if you saw it, but that was so stupid.
That's just my take.
This matchup, it's just weird because both these teams I'm not high on. So no matter who wins, I don't know what I'm going to believe.
I'm high on both of them. Like I think Cleveland just needs to make a trade and like they could be like a 55-win team. Like seriously.
If they had OG Anunoby, then I'd agree. But they traded everything for Mitchell, which I think was a good idea. Just now they're handcuffed to like not getting another big guy.
I love Allen. I really love Allen. But don't you think like going forward, Mobley's proven that he's probably better as a center and they need to like reshuffle?
Joe, in the beginning of the year, I was telling you I don't like the two centers next to each other. I want Mobley as the big with Allen off the bench.
Well, I don't mind it. I don't mind it in the sense of like, I think it's fine. Like, think about it. If they played Milwaukee, like they need both of those guys out there. But the thing is like Mobley, I just feel like might just be like the 3rd best center in the league in like 2 years if he just like keeps evolving the way he is. I feel like they could trade Allen for a wing, and Allen could go be an awesome defensive anchor for a different team. Like, I feel like I'm not saying that I'm against the look they have, but I think long term, like the only way to get that wing guy, like because they're Cleveland, not Los Angeles or Miami, like free agent wise, like they're gonna need to make that trade. I think. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I told you this too. I don't really like centers as much, so I feel like having two next to each other doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Mobley can't really shoot yet. Make Mobley the 5, Allen off the bench, or trade Allen for the wing, like you're saying. That's what I wanted them to do beginning of the year because I think Allen's great. Just I think Mobley's best version of himself. I said this. Mobley's best version of himself will be as a center. Him being the guy that's hidden behind Allen at times doesn't make a lot of sense for his development. Cleveland's not going to win anything this year and probably not next year. The best way for Cleveland is to have Mobley be a top 3 center, probably behind Jokic and Embiid. For that to happen, he has to be the center. He can't be the Robin in the paint to Jared Allen. Like, is Jared Allen really worth that? No.
Right. I agree. And like, we're talking future now and we're supposed to be talking present, but like, I still think Cleveland's got the best young core in the whole league. Like Mitchell, I think has got another 5 years of being this guy, and Garland and Mobley. I think those guys are, as long as they re-up when their rookie contracts are up, I think those guys are going to be there forever. Like this might be like the 80s Cavs again, where they had like Mark Price and Brad Daugherty for just a decade straight. That might be Mobley and Garland. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, depends how young core you want to go. Because if you go like super young, and it's probably like Orlando, but if you still count Mitchell as young, which like I guess he is, he's like 26.
I like Paolo a lot. I would trust Garland and Mobley.
I mean, I trust them more too, but they're also older. Like if you're really going young, like babies, but if you're counting them as a young core, probably they're up there. Like I don't know. I don't really know about young core wise. I think they're going to be good in a few years. I really just think that current idea of Allen and Mobley is just awkward to me still, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have 2 big guys on my team. I'd rather have one really good one that's dynamic, and Mobley can't switch on to people, but having him and Allen just seems like it doesn't help Mobley.
I will say, I agree with you. I will say, I think if Cleveland beats the Knicks, I don't think they will, as I said. I think the Cavs have a better chance of upsetting the Bucks than the Knicks do, but I think the Knicks will beat the Cavs.
I think Reynolds going to have the toughest matchup of his life against Brook Lopez and Giannis.
Yeah, that would be pretty ugly. Ugly. Then I would get on your train with the Randall will have a tough series. But I think against Cleveland,
and Brunson is great, but in the last 2 minutes, going against Drew, are you kidding? It's like Milwaukee literally would just look at the Knicks and be like, all right, you have a big guy and a small guard that we have to stop, and they have the best guard defender, the best big man stoppers.
But what if Josh Hart just goes for 25 rebounds in a game 7 and the Knicks beat the Bucks? Like, what if
I hit a foot growth spurt and I just signed with the Bucks?
Can I read you Josh Hart's stats? Since he joined the Knicks, 11 a game, 7 rebounds. He's shooting 60 from the field, 55% from 3. He had a game where he had 8 offensive rebounds against the Kings. That guy is the man, and he will be a Sixer one day. I will manifest that.
Does that make you happy rating me the Josh Hart stats?
It did.
All right,